The Burkina Faso National Conference has voted to adopt a modified charter. Now, this modified charter will allow Captain Ibrahim Traore, the president of the transition of Burkina Faso, to stay in power for another 5 more years. Now, this is aimed at leading the nation through its, transitional phase. Hello, I am Mahlet Ayele, your host at Connect Africa, bringing you the latest from the continent and particularly from the Sahel region. Now, this breaking news came out last night, and he himself was there in the meeting of the Transitional Legislative Assembly. Now, in this video, I am going to look at 5 points. Now, these are this new charter. What does it do? And then what does number 2? What we look at is what does the new charter stipulates. Number 3, we will look at what was the previous leadership and versus the new leadership. What are the differences? And number 4, what good this new leadership or new title for Burkina Faso, for Ibrahim Traore, will bring, what advantage it have. Number 5, all this, what's happening, is this within the law? These are the 5 points that I'm going to look at, and hopefully it will answer all questions. Now, if you remember a few days ago, when we broke the news that Captain Ibrahim Traore is about to step down from power in July 2024, it's because that was the time the transitional period for him will expire, and he's just that means in 18 in how many months? 18 months perhaps, or 18 or 19 months. He came to power exactly September 30, 2022, and then it was October that he swore in. So yeah, that was right. But one thing that we have said was, of course, there will be a meeting. So now, what does it do? This new title, or staying in power for Captain Ibrahim Traore. Let me just share this with you from the Burkina TV of the national broadcast of Burkina Faso to you, and we will talk about it. I'll just show you a little. Now, the first question that I'm going to that we will look at is that what does it do, or what it means. Okay, so listen to this.
Participants de la charte modifiée et adoptée par les participants, on retient les principales innovations suivantes. Le passage du statut du président de la transition, chef de l'État, à président du Faso, chef de l'État, chef suprême des forces armées nationales.
Okay, now what it does is exactly now what the man said. Now this voted, what they voted is, of course, they adopted a modified charter. So this charter, so it says, it gave him a new name, which is he was the president of the transitional government. Now he is in charge of both, it adds a power for him to be a supreme head of the military as well. So it will herald this main change in the governance structure and in the political landscape of the Burkina Faso. Now, the second thing I'm going to answer is that what does now this new charter stipulates? Now, this new charter stipulates, number one, what it does is the transitional at this place. Let me just put it. Now, this charter will stipulate, number one, the transition period, of course, time-wise, will extend from for another 5 years, as opposed to it expiring in July 2024. That's what it does. Number two, in terms of role, now Captain Ibrahim Traore's title is that his role will be from the transitional head of state, it was just alone the transitional head of state, to the president of Burkina Faso, head of state. And this will also serve as the supreme head of the armed forces of Burkina Faso. Now, of course, this means consolidating power or leadership and streamlining the chain and command during the transitional period. Of course, now another thing is what this new charter will stipulate is that now Captain Ibrahim Traore, even after 5 years, he will be able to to contest, to run for another term with other candidates. Okay, that means in 2029. Now, what the next thing that it will do is, now the third question that I'm going to answer is that what is the previous, the change, the previous leadership versus the new leadership. Now, in previously, this transitional, his title was transitional head of state. That means it was a temporary position, and it only focuses on the transition process, ensuring the stability of the nation, and of course, not forgetting that the government, that transitional government, was also concerned with, tightening the security as the Sahel region was in war against terrorism. Now, the new leadership with a new charter will allow him, of course, to provide a kind of permanent and authoritative leadership structure, considering that he is also the head of armed forces, the supreme head of the armed forces. Now, it will give him also, to Captain Ibrahim Traore, to control over both over civilian and the military operation of the country. Now, another point, or the fourth point that I'm going to look at, is that what are the advantages that are coming, or the good thing for Burkina Faso with this. Now, this new charter, under this new leadership for another 5 years, it will foster, a united command structure, as he's consolidating power over civilian and armed forces. And also, it is a strategic move which will ensure the unity together. The political and security challenges are handled, in a well-equipped manner. And it's also symbolic because there's a need for a strong centralized authority to guide the nation through its critical period of change and development. Let's not forget that in the past, 16 months, Burkina Faso or 18 months have really, he has been able to transform a number of things in a number of areas that we have been, updating you through time. Now, am I number 5, the fifth point that I said I will look at is that, is this within the law? Yes, it is within the law, because, as you know, last time when we informed you that he's about to step down, the only hope is, we said, if that transitional legislative assembly assign, says, okay, let him stay in power, because the state needs him with this and that. And this transitional legislative assembly, it was convened in April, on April 26th, okay? And then we said that here they will have this meeting, to decide whether he will stay in power or he will step down on May 24 and 25th. And that was, so for 2 days they had this meeting. So 25th, at the night of 25th, that was yesterday, that they have concluded for him to stay in power for another 5 years. So this is within the law of the state of Burkina Faso, or this is what exactly they have set up when this transitional government was set up, when the revolution happened. Now, my opinion is that, am I surprised? Not really, because not only the Burkinabes, but a number of Africans wanted for Burkina Faso to stay in power, because he is not leading only the Burkinabe people. He is not only the incarnation of Thomas Sankara, but also he was the leader of the Sahel Alliance, because he is, Burkina Faso was, in a way, the way it was operating for the past year and 7-8 months, that it has shown what a true Pan-African independent state means, that, there is no neo-colonialism, and the country was committed really for a change and development, while it is fighting against neo-colonialism, and again renewing their commitment to break the shackles of neo-colonialism. And that's exactly what he said. And every day under his governance, he is fighting that. Now, he delivered a powerful speech a couple of days ago, stating that the enemy is not sleeping. And he said, still in their mind, in the colonial power mind, Africa and Africans are a slave. It is their battleground, even for their proxy wars that are happening in a war that's not for Africa, that's not of Africans. So he said, in their mind, literally in their mind, we are still slaves, and the struggle is not over. So that's exactly why the Burkinabes came out on May 11, when they heard that the rumor that he's about to step down, and in the stadium they gathered and supported him. And he even warned them, this, and also the Transitional Legislative Assembly, whatever the decision comes out, if it is for him to step down, that the people have to accept. And he said, if you really love Burkina Faso, and that's exactly what you need to do. But he was, they have prolonged his stay, and because they believed in him. And not only as this, Pan-African platforms, the Burkinabes, globally African people have supported this and really hope that he will stay in power. And that's exactly what happened. Let me just share with you what, the gathering, it was as of yesterday, I think, where the Burkinabes came out and supported showed their support for Ibrhaim Traore. Now, let me just, hopefully I will be, just bear with me. I'm gonna, 1-2 minutes. So,
commencement of the highly anticipated national conference.
So this was their gathering. Yeah. So that was, their support for their government. And we will see, we will follow up this closely and bring you the news and on a day, not only on a daily basis, but it could be on hourly basis, but we will follow it up closely. What the Sahel Alliance, the neighboring countries, Mali and Niger, will say about this, who will congratulate him actually. That will also matter, which African country will congratulate him. And don't forget that all this news come in the midst where, ECOWAS has another leadership in town, in the region, which is Diomaye Faye of Senegal, and he's expected that he will visit, if not him, that he will visit the Sahel Alliance, if not him, that the Prime Minister Ousmane Sonko, who is actually the leader of their political party, meaning in which both Ousmane Sonko and Diomaye Faye belong to, and the ECOWAS elders have sent, meaning, mainly like Bola Tinubu of Nigeria and Nana Akufo-Addo of Ghana, has hoped that Diomaye Faye will close the gap that he will bring to the Sahel Alliance, to ECOWAS. And many people, Pan-Africans, are against this, and we all are waiting what will happen, because Diomaye Faye is walking on a thin line. Everybody expected for Senegal actually to join Sahel Alliance, but that did not happen. In fact, while their advocation during their campaign was that to join the Sahel Alliance and showed their support for the Sahel Alliance, we all thought the minute they are elected, then that will happen, but it didn't happen. On the opposite, Diomaye Faye said that the Sahel Alliance has to join back ECOWAS. So whether this is a political strategy or not, it's something that we will see. Only time will tell. So there are a number of things surrounding in the region. So it's something that we have to pay close attention. Again, thank you very much, all of you. Our brother Case4 TV is here in the house. Thank you, Case4. Case4 he's a Senegalese activist living in the diaspora. He has played a great role when Senegal was turmoiling under Macky Sall. Hello, Heroine KSC. And Jackson Joseph, okay, I see you. Thanks. And doing Garvey TV, thank you very much again. This is a good news, but let's see. Now we can see by the reaction of the leaders who will congratulate, who will say what. Forget the mainstream media. We're not expecting anything from them, but we have some Pan-African leaders, not necessarily the president of African states, but who are leaders in for example, we have Her Excellency Dr. Arikana, like Professor Lumumba, and others, Pierre Lumumba, sorry, and also like the Niger, Mali leaders and the ECOWAS leaders, and Senegal itself. What will it say? These things are really extremely important. Who is a new? Thank you, brother Case. You go ahead and subscribe his channel. He really does a lot in leading the struggle against colonialism or neo-colonialism from the diaspora. Thanks again for being here, and I'll see you on the next one. Please, if you want to support our channel, go ahead to our PayPal account in the description section, and you can donate to that. But further, you can also share the video. By that, you can also help us, like and subscribe to the channel and share the video. Let's watch Senegal. We cannot say anything, and hopefully they will bring some good news, those two people. It's a bye-bye for me for now, but I will see you soon. Ciao.